Hey guys, this is Solomon. Today I'm going to talk about the essay topic I chose for my final essay, which is Chinese cultural assimilation and distinguishment from Western cultures. So here's an overview of my research question and the thesis. So my research question is that how does Chinese culture assimilate and distinguish from Western cultures? And the main thesis for this essay is that while Chinese pop culture assimilated various aspects of Western cultures, cultural confidence, market difference, and political environment differentiate Chinese cultures from Western cultures in terms of pop music, video games, and social media. And cultural assimilation usually occur in early stage of cultural development, and cultural distinguishment then takes place due to cultural localization. So for each cultural aspect, I'll first compare the main similarities between Chinese culture and Western culture on this aspect with one specific cultural product as an example. And then after this, the comparison in the similarities, and then I'll talk about the differences and analyze it on how each cultural aspect affect the distinguishment of its cultural products. Okay, the first cultural aspect is cultural confidence, and then the main cultural product as example is pop music. So the main similarity between Chinese pop music and Western pop music is that both Hong Kongese and English-speaking countries previously sing in English as a result of globalization and colonization. And another similarity is that many American-born Chinese singers adopted American music features such as R&B. And there are main two differences in the aspect of pop music. The first one is that Hong Kongese singers actually later prefer to sing in their own language, which was Cantonese. This can be referred to the article Ho 2003. And the second difference is that American-born Chinese singers such as Wang Lihong maintain traditional cultural characteristics in lyrics. And so for the first difference, it can be attributed to the strong cultural identification and confidence which propelled the Cantonese, the Hong Kongese singers to sing in their local language. And the second difference is a result of can be showcased through the uses of like traditional Chinese symbols such as dragon, and also Wang Lihong he described the Chinese the descendants of the dragon. So a mini conclusion that can be derived from this cultural aspect is that the Chinese pop music actually assimilated Western cultures in its early development. However, cultural confidence enables self-produced cultural products later on, and cultural products usually used cultural products of music used language, which was one of the most key mediums to express culture in music. And then the second cultural aspect is market difference, and the main examples of the cultural product is video games. So the main similarity is that the widespread of Japanese Western style console and games in the 1970s, such as Atari game console and Nintendo Family console, actually have similar replicates in China, which was called Xiaobawang, and this can be referred to the article Liao 2016. And then the main difference for this for video games is that the first one is access of gaming device. So as market evolved, gaming market evolved in China, consumer demand in China and other countries distinguish. So Chinese gamers actually prefer more on mobile games due to limitations in accessing gaming consoles, and also the convenience of mobile phones as a gaming device. And the second difference is consumer preference. So games that feature social interaction and cooperation are favored by Chinese gamers, and this can be cited from the article Dong and Manguiron 2018. And an example of this is that mobile games, which are mainly team games and encourage microphone communication, are liked by Chinese gamers a lot. And then a conclusion that can be obtained from this cultural aspect is that difference in consumers' gaming hardware and the preference determine difference in mainstream genres. Although that the initial gaming environment of China was assimilated by Western gaming cultures. And then the third cultural aspect is on political environment, and the main cultural product is social media. So the main similarity is that many Western social media platforms have their replicas produced in mainland China and adopted very similar functionalities such as chatting, reels, photo posts, and well, one of the most notable examples is that Facebook versus WeChat, which they both have these similar functionalities. And then the main difference is that Chinese government requires social medias to adhere censorship regulations, and only domestic companies are able to do so. While Western social medias are actually less associated with politics than Chinese social medias, and this is evident in the article 2012. And then moving on, Chinese social medias are actually used as a political tool by the government to monitor citizen and filter politically sensitive information. And in contrast, well, actually, Western social media are not um, actualizing this aspect. So, a conclusion that can be obtained with this cultural aspect is that political environment hindered the entries of Western social medias, and in turn assisted the development of distinguished social medias in China. Okay, so here's a final conclusion for my essay. So cultural assimilation results in similarities between Chinese and Western cultures. However, when Western assimilated cultures undergo localization in Sinophone communities, they develop and alter based on the Chinese local environment, and ultimately produce differentiated cultural products. Well, in this case, we mentioned about video games, social medias, and also pop music. And these cultural products suit the Chinese social cultural environment. And most importantly, through the case of through the case and comparison and contrast between Chinese and Western cultures, we can see that cultural assimilation and variation are actually a constant process, and they represent both the past and present stages of civilizations. Okay, so that's basically the outline of my final essay. Thank you for watching.